Hello and happy festive holiday season. I hope you're here for holiday inspo because that is what today's bonus video is bringing you. It is a little after 10 a.m. Mark has taken our 6-year-old Callie off to a daddy date for the day so that I can attack these totes in the background with festive, merry, holly jolly spirit and get our home decorated. Last year, I posted a video about how we decorate our nautical home, and those tips and tricks still apply, but I do have some new goodies that I always pick up in clearance after the holiday season that it feels almost like a Christmas morning to unwrap and unbox them and get to use them for the first time. So my goal in our limited time today isn't necessarily to finish. It is still early November when I'm filming this. Decorating early is no longer just apparently a COVID protocol. It is something that I'm going to, I think, continue because it elongates the magic of the season. And unlike all of those beautiful Instagrammers who have their trees up, we still use a real tree, and one, they're not on sale yet, but two, we definitely couldn't keep it alive this early through the holidays. So the tree goes almost exactly where our recliner is, and then the furniture gets pushed down. So I'll be saving all of the ornaments that we would use for the tree separately, but then the other baubles that I have tend to go in glass vases. To prepare for today, all I did was pay someone to clean my house, to deep clean my house. Shout out Alicia, best service ever. And then Mark brought the totes down. Now, Callie and I have already set up our village, which is an annual tradition. I'll show that to you. They are the Buyer's Choice carolers that my Nana had. And then when we purchased this house, which was my grandparents' house, and renovated it, I kept all of her Buyer's Choice and set up the village the way that she and I used to set it up when I was little. So it's kind of this passed down tradition. Otherwise, nothing has been touched. Everything is freshly cleaned. The surfaces are blank. Let's get going. I have it paused right now because I don't want a copyright strike, but as always, I have my very favorite Christmas ambiance from Disney on in the background. The first thing that I do each and every Christmas after Mark brings down the totes is I sort them by room. So I label all of my totes year to year, and then I'm able to place them in the open concept areas of my home where they go so I can unpack them close to where I'll be putting them. So I'm starting in the kitchen because this area always has the most boxes. You'll also see here that I am dispersing things among different countertops based on where I think I'll be placing them to help alleviate the stress of where do these decor items go. This was the Cocoa Bar look last year. Sorry about the glare. So I'm trying to put it back like this, but I haven't gotten my mugs down yet from the attic, so those will be added. And I don't have all of like little details in here, like the marshmallows or the chocolatey treats. Those usually come after the Trader Joe's haul. So this year, the Cocoa Bar is expanding to this corner, and I'm trying to incorporate, we always do reds in the kitchen, so I'm trying to incorporate some more like natural tones in here as well. So I think when I fill this in with candy, ornaments, and mugs, it will feel a bit more lively, but this is the base. I'm gonna get started on the individual doors and also the tops. Okay, so I'm kind of tidying up in the kitchen. This is usually the room that takes me the longest. I have put everything up on top of the cabinetry, and while not everything has its final placement yet, things are dispersed the way they want them to be. So that's where I may be leaving this room for today. Now I want to get started tackling the bathroom and then eventually in the living room. We're getting down to the details here, and I will say, this is probably a little bit embarrassing to admit, that going back to my own videos from last year to see where I put things has been a huge time saver. So it's allowed me to see what I liked, what I didn't like, and of course, because it's so early in the season, I definitely have time to tweak. That's the reason I do this early now, or at least that's the excuse I give myself, because it allows me to make adjustments and love the way everything looks. And then I take pictures and videos and document it for YouTube, for Instagram, but I'm finding it to be a huge resource for myself. Right now, what I'm going to do is, these are the ornaments, like the keepsake ornaments that we put on our Christmas tree. And of course we don't have that right now, but I pulled out my other ornaments, and I want to move the ones that I know I want to feature on the tree kind of on top of this box. And then I want to start getting my glass ornaments set up so that I can sprinkle them around. This is the most inexpensive, visually aesthetic, and like color agreeing. You can do this with any color ornament. Tip that I have is to take glass vessels that you have in your home, sprinkle them with pine cones. If you're going for like a more natural look, use the colors of your home and then put ornaments in them and just scatter them around. And honestly, you can transform any space this way. I apologize for the lighting right now. It's late afternoon, or really it isn't. It's like in the 3 o'clocks, but because the sun is going down. Anyway, I just put together these little lanterns. I have one for inside and one for outside. And then these are my Japanese floating balls, and they were actually my grandmother's. And if you know the story of this house or the Santa suit that you probably have seen on Instagram, then you'll know that these were hers and this was their house. So I try to keep as much of her and my grandfather around in terms of things that I love as possible, right? That's what the holidays are about. So I added some of our color in here. And funny story. So this is the fireplace that I absolutely hate. Let me just back up. Like, everything in our house is light in color. I'm actually thinking about like repainting or restaining these, or trying to find driftwood options. Anyway, also hello in the shadow. I hate the fireplace, not because it isn't functional, it is, but because of how dark it is. It's just like this black hole in the middle of our living room, and because we have an open concept space, it's just dark. So the other night, I talked about the Christmas logs that I bought last year, and I can't wait to smell them and have there be a fire in here. Can you look at all the soot? My sweet, sweet husband thought he was helping, and he opened this flue that hasn't been opened since my grandfather passed away. We've lived in this house for years. And then a world of soot came down, and I don't know how to clean this. I did reach out to a chimney sweep company, but it actually looks pretty clean up there. I just literally don't know how do we clean this mess up? It was everywhere, and this will have to be repainted before the holidays now because of the soot. So that's what's happening. But every time I want to show off like my pretty baubles, I'm like, ugh, this fireplace. It's just one of those house projects that's gonna have to stay on the list for a little while longer.